Welcome to the show. I take a collection of movies, whether it be a trilogy, quadrilogy, series, or saga, and I marathon them all in one sitting. This is something I've been wanting to do for a while. Can I get through the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy, extended of course, back to back to back, without leaving my seat? I bet few people have watched an entire movie series one after another without taking a break, let alone never leaving their seat. So that's what I'll be trying to do today. And make no mistake, I don't mean to clickbait any of you. I have seen these movies before. It's not a first time reaction. I grew up with them. Hell, I even have a ring right here. Anyway, it's really just to see if I can do this and what state I'll be in afterwards. Now, a few rules. As soon as the movie starts, I cannot get up out of this chair until the final credits roll. And that's pretty much the only rule. The only thing I can really move from this chair is to readjust like this, you know? I'll need to shift my weight every now and again. Other than that, no getting up. But how are you going to do things like eat or get drinks or go to the bathroom? You will need to do that in the 13 plus hours it'll take to watch this trilogy. Well, inquisitive viewer, concrete flooring, rolling chair.
12 seconds later.
And as for the bathroom, I guess I'll just have to aim true. But like I mentioned, the Lord of the Rings Extended Edition trilogy is around 13 plus hours long. So I'm going to be sitting here for a while. How about we play a game? It is currently 5:30 in the afternoon. What time of day will it be for me when I finish this trilogy? Put your answers down in the comments. And the first person to guess it, I'll pin it. Now don't try and cheat and just Google how many minutes are in the trilogy and do math that way. You don't know how long I'll linger in those credits. Maybe if I want to rock out to Into the West during Return of the King for a while, huh? And of course, for returning viewers, you may be aware of the trains that come by. I'll have to pause for those, unless you want a blaring train horn in the background of this audio. Didn't think so. And speaking of the trains, let's go ahead and start like a train counter up here. If I do another one of these, then we can see which series will have the most trains coming in the background. And let the challenge begin. Holy shit, I'm not even in the opening credits and there's already a train. So
3 were given to the elves, 7 to the dwarf lords. Great miners.
miners? They don't look that young.
1 ring to rule them all. A last alliance of men and elves marched against the armies of Mordor.
Yeah! Oh, this is so sick. It's always been so sick. I remember that being the transition into like the video game for the Two Towers.
That Isildur, son of the king, took up his father's sword.
Why would you even reach for him? Just, you have a giant mace, just whack him on the head, you know? I always thought that was Legolas right there when I was a kid. Doesn't it kind of look like him? The camera shows him just a random elf, but maybe it's Legolas, I don't know.
Sauron was defeated.
This is how you know I'm watching the extended edition, because theatrical versions, it cut right at that horse scream. It's so weird watching the original theatrical cuts. I've always watched extended since they came out. It's just, I don't know any other way. So much so that when I watched them on Netflix, when they came to Netflix a few years ago, I tried checking them out. And it was just like, this is so weird. This isn't how it was it? It's just so ingrained in my memory, the extended editions.
It betrayed Isildur to his death. It ensnared a new bearer.
I did the Gollum voice constantly when I was a kid. I could do it pretty good. I haven't done it in years. Ugh.
Come to me, my heart, my love, my love.
I can't. Ugh. The back of my throat dries up way too quickly now. Oh, I can't imagine how brutal it was on Andy Serkis's voice.
What's this?
A hobbit. Bilbo Baggins.
If they ever re-release the Lord of the Rings trilogy, do you think they'll CGI Martin Freeman here? And honestly, I know there's a Lord of the Rings Amazon show coming out, Rings of Power, that's like about Galadriel or something. I'd honestly like to see a story about how the men and elves came together to form their alliance to take on Sauron. Like, political maneuverings of that, like the raging war that probably threatened both their homelands. I think that'd be interesting. Maybe the Silmarillion has that? I don't know. As long as Amazon doesn't mess that up, I think that'd be interesting, but I don't have a lot of faith in the Amazon show. Do they still teach how to write with a quill in school? When I was a kid, we had to like learn how to sign our names with a quill and ink and everything. It was like 3rd grade, I think.
But where our hearts truly lie is in peace and quiet.
People always saying like, oh, I want to be a hobbit and just live that peaceful life. And when I was young, I was like, man, I don't want to be a hobbit. I'd rather be a big, strong man or an elf, live forever. But as an adult who just likes his time and peace, I can really see the appeal of being a hobbit a lot more. That looks so just peaceful and amazing. Just sitting out playing chess or sitting by the lake and fishing. Oh, no worries. Sam! Sam's the best character.
A wizard is never late, Frodo Baggins. Nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
Such an iconic line. It blows my mind that this is in-camera trickery. Like, you know, it's perception. They're playing with your perception. Frodo is sitting a lot farther back than Gandalf. It's so creative. They don't make movies like the Lord of the Rings trilogy anymore. They just don't.
Generation to the next.
It's on my bucket list to visit New Zealand and go to Hobbiton. Because there's the Hobbiton set is still there and you can do tours of it and stuff. Though it's not the Lord of the Rings Hobbiton. They like tore that down. But when they shot The Hobbit, they rebuilt it and they decided to keep it open as like a tourist thing. And I want to go. I just want to go. The floppy feet.
Where's he gone?
It's right here, Bilbo. I got it. My precious.
All right, then. Keep your secrets.
It's there's so many memes that come out of this movie. It's just going to make me laugh. I'm curious, what's the point of having the doorknob in the middle of the door? Because the reason the doorknob is on the side of the door is because there's a latch in it that when you turn the doorknob, it retracts the latch. So it keeps the door closed. That's why the latch is there. So when you turn the doorknob, the latch comes out and you can open the door. Oh, it's just for show. There's not another doorknob on the other side. Okay, never mind. I'm stupid. I guess it's just there to pull. And I'm pretty sure it's, common knowledge that was an accident that they kept in. He accidentally hit his head.
So you mean to go through with your plan?
Again, also in shot, in front of the camera. Just depth perception, and the items needed to be specially made. You could see Pippin in the band. He was playing, banjo? I couldn't see the instrument, but Pippin's in the band. He's not there no more. Though there was also, Merry was up there, like, pointing at stuff. Maybe he went and got Pippin, and they went to do the firework thing. It's, like, all in the background. That'd be interesting if they actually planned that. They probably did, given this movie.
Quickly hide!
See, what are they gonna do if they find Bilbo? They're gonna kill him? Or are they just gonna lecture him and be annoying? Because they don't look that too far off from, being under the hill themselves.
I don't know half of you half as well as I should like, and I like less than half of you half as well as you deserve.
I get it.
Goodbye.
I guess, but, well, like we're saying about the doorknob, how do you get in? Because that has to be a long latch. It has to go from the middle of the door to all the way to the end. Just seems needlessly complicated.
I suppose you think that was terribly clever.
Gandalf should really teleport more later in this series.
About this ring of yours, is that staying too?
It's in an envelope over there on the mantelpiece.
Gandalf, that's the mantelpiece you were just standing at. You should know it's not there, you silly wizard.
My precious.
Precious.
I wonder if Sauron named the ring Precious. Like, maybe that's why everyone actually calls it Precious. Like, Sauron, when he created the ring, was all like, your name shall be Precious. And that's why everybody calls it that.
You want it for yourself!
Bilbo Baggins! I am not trying to rob you. I'm trying to help you.
Just a little bit of flex of what he can do is enough to convince him, like, yeah, you're trying to help me. I'm sorry. If Gandalf wanted to take the ring, it really wouldn't be an issue. He's a goddamn wizard. God. It's so... It's actually kind of creepy how the ring sticks to his hand as if grasping not to be let go because he wants to get out of the Shire. And then the way it just thuds. It doesn't bounce. It just thuds down. The weight of it. Seriously, go drop a ring and see how much it bounces and flings around. But not the one ring. Too heavy for that shit. It's great small details and subtle storytelling that makes the Lord of the Rings trilogy stand a league of its own. It is the best movie trilogy of all time. Fight me, Star Wars. God, these movies have been out for 20 years now. And they never had like a re-release in theaters. At least not a wide one. They should do that for an event. Do a 20-year anniversary re-release of the movies in theaters across the world. The extended editions. I would absolutely go to see those. Just to have that theater experience for all of them. Because I only saw the third one in theaters. I never saw the first two. In fact, I watched them all out of order. I watched Two Towers first because my parents wouldn't let me watch Fellowship because they thought it would scare me. So I played the Two Towers video game. Then I watched Fellowship of the Ring. Then I saw Two Towers. Then Return of the King. It was all over the place.
Keep it secret. Keep it safe.
Oh, yeah, this is, that's Minas Morgul, right? The place that they show in Return of the King that has like a green column shoot to the sky. I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah, it's just right over there. It's like, just right over there.
It is precious to me.
That's three. Three people have referred to it as precious. It could be they all just like the same adjectives, but I think Sauron named the ring Precious.
Rain may fall and wind may blow, but there shall be
many miles to go. Sweet is the sound of the pouring rain, and the steam that comes from hill to plain. Better than rain or rippling brook.
There's a Mongo beer inside this tub.
Shut your door. Were you born in a barn?
Can you see anything?
Nothing. There's nothing.
Movie ends right there.
Wait. It's some form of Elvish. I can't read it.
There are few who can.
Can you imagine that? Like being Gandalf's shoes right now where this is the most powerful evil object in the history of your world. And it's just here. It's crazy. It's like finding a mini nuke. That moment of, thank God it's not it, to realization, oh shit, that's the ring. Shit like that is why he got an Oscar nomination.
Sauron was destroyed.
You cannot offer me this ring.
I'm giving it to you.
Don't tempt me further.
It would wield a power too great and terrible to imagine.
Yeah, it's another detail I didn't really understand as a kid watching this is like, if he took the ring, it would just corrupt him. And that's what he's afraid of. It's like, if I'm corrupted by the ring, it would have all my power at its, yeah, what would I do with that ring with my power? What would the ring do?
Have you been eavesdropping?
I ain't been dropping no eaves, sir, honest.
I ain't been dropping no eaves, sir.
The ring is trying to get back to its master. It wants to be found.
I've seen the argument where people say, why don't they just bury it or throw it in the ocean or something? Make it impossible for anybody to ever retrieve it. The reason why they don't do that is simple, because then Sauron wouldn't be defeated. Like, there'd still be all those orcs in Mordor and Sauron's presence would still be there. Destroying the ring would get rid of all that. Hey, that might be Tom Bombadil right there. Who knows? People say there's a car in this scene because of that smoke over there, but that's a chimney. Like, you can clearly see it's a chimney. I don't know. I never saw the car. Hello. So I can't get up. I ordered pizza. Oh, yummy.
Your love of the halfling's leaf has clearly slowed your mind.
Basically saying, dude, you get you get high too much.
I will find the ring and kill the one who carries it.
You don't have to look so happy about that.
And with the will of Sauron, there are none who can.
Oh, now you realize how evil he is.
When did Saruman the Wise abandon reason for madness?
Gandalf was basically saying, you a bitch.
Beyblade, Beyblade, let it rip!
Ooh, that was close.
Where do you think he pulled that from?
Get off the road! Quick!
Wait. You saw both sides of the tree, but he never appeared from the right side. He just appeared from the left side. He like materialized there. Like he should have walked in from the right and you would see a bit of him before the tree, but ugh, get it off. I don't like spiders. I don't like spiders. Pizza. The only thing that can defeat the ring. I gotta keep the pizza somewhat fresh, so pizza's gotta go in the fridge. Alright, here we go. It's Filch. It kind of looks like Filch. Peter!
Nice, cozy, hobbit-sized rooms available.
Again, little details like that. They didn't have to have somebody come and walk by, but they did it just to show how much smaller they are and make the world feel more alive. His nails are cut so short.
He's over there. Frodo Baggins.
Pippin really is responsible for a lot of shit hitting the fan in this trilogy, isn't he?
But to disappear entirely, that is a rare gift.
And he was killed in Middle-earth and reborn in the Wizarding World. Can anyone tell me what's the point of like a sleep cap? Does it keep your hair protected or something? I never understood that. Why would you wear it on your head when you're trying to sleep?
Sauron the Deceiver gave to them 9 rings of power. Now they're slaves to his will.
So that's curious though, because was only the rings that were given to men corrupted ones, or? Because I mean, the elves and the dwarves didn't have one, or did Sauron give them 9 different rings of power other than the ones they were given? I don't know. Maybe he switched the rings or something. Or maybe it's just because men are just so easily corrupted that Sauron promised them more power or something, and they fell to the power of his ring as well or something. I don't know.
But where is he leading us?
Rivendell, Master Gamgee.
Master Gamgee. The horse Bill comes and goes, you know? Like, he wasn't there earlier. Did they pick Bill up in Bree, actually? I'm just gonna lean back in the chair a little bit.
The trees are strong, my lord.
It's insane how good this all still looks. Like, all the orcs and stuff. And it's just so upsetting when you look at the Hobbit trilogy and they went all CGI with the orcs. It's just, it's like, where'd the effort go?
I'm going to have a look around.
Aragorn was gone for such a long time. He just went to have a look around, but where did he go that he didn't see that fire? Because he was thinking about Arwen, and he just needed, like, a little alone time, you know what I mean? He heard the Nazgul screech and was like, oh, shit, get back in there, get back in there. And he's like, okay, come on, think of guy things, make it go down. Baseball, pinewood, mahogany. Oh, yes. Okay, and then he starts going up for the fight. They're being so extra right now, and I love it. Aragorn's awesome.
He's been stabbed by a Morgul blade.
Then it probably came from Minas Morgul then, right? It's weird how like a lot of the magic that's shown in this movie is not explained. It's just kind of implied. Like Gandalf, he whispers something to a moth, and then the eagle comes. All right. Or like these things, they're just like they're in the ground. What? How are they in the ground? Where did they come from? You know? There's probably some lore that explains it. I just don't know. What did I tell you about going swimming in the caramel bath, Lurtz? I only know his name because when I was a kid, Kroger had Lord of the Rings toys. It said Lurtz. That's how I found out his name. Viggo Mortensen knows all about how dangerous the road is. Oh, well, there's another train.
We got a white Bronco heading east into the forest, requesting backup.
I just imagine them crawling out of the river like a mile down and bringing out their cloaks and just being like, that elvish bitch.
The friendship of Saruman is not lightly thrown aside.
He's probably real petty after like a breakup or anything. Was there like a bowl over there? There was something on the ground. Maybe it was like a bowl for food. And a nice detail that they didn't need to add if that's what it was.
But my own adventure turned out to be quite different.
Yeah, but you have the better movies, Frodo. Adjusting the chair. Not getting up, just adjusting the chair.
Packed already.
Was that bench where the elves had Sam sleeping? Just like on a bench? Because like it had like a pillow and blankets, and that's where all his stuff was being packed. Maybe the elves are secretly dickheads.
Cast it into the fire! Destroy it!
No. Though if he did throw it in, both their armies would be fucked. Because the ground collapsed when the ring was destroyed. Would have killed all of them. Sean Bean looks so young compared to where he'll be in a decade during Game of Thrones.
No more than a broken hand.
I remember seeing that for the first time thinking like, oh, you dick, come on. But I actually really like Boromir. He's got such a interesting character arc. Little facets of his character sprinkled throughout. Okay, great, but can you like turn it a little bit? It's not straight and my OCD is going off.
Bring forth the ring, Frodo.
What's with those two dudes sitting between the elves and the dwarves? Do you think they had some of Boromir's parties sit between elves and dwarves because they hate each other or something? That's my headcanon. They went to sit down and the dwarves started arguing with the elves and like, okay, no, you two sit over here. Keep them separate. Well, there's another train, so let's go ahead. I'm going to use the opportunity to get like a drink. All right, here we go. Nailed it. Oh. Ooh. Not even halfway through the first movie. And my back's starting to hurt. Okay.
This is Isildur's heir. And heir to the throne of Gondor.
Gondor has no king. Gondor needs no king.
The ring must be destroyed.
Boromir looks so dejected there because he failed his father, you know? We learned in the next movie that Boromir's father was like, hey, bring us back the ring. That's another reason why he's being so abrasive about it. Oh, the layers, the layers.
One does not simply walk into Mordor.
I will take the ring to Mordor.
It honestly sounds like he says, I will take the ring to Malordor. Like, not Mordor. It sounds like there was an L there.
You have my sword.
And you have my bow.
And my axe.
Again, so many memes born from this movie. Gandalf grabs Sam as he runs up. It's like, little late for trimming the verge, don't you think?
Oi! We're coming too!
I love Elrond's change right there because he's just like, oh, that's charming. You can't be separated. You're very loyal. And then the other two like, what the fuck?
You shall be the Fellowship of the Ring.
Yeah! Roll credits. And that's where part 1 of the extended edition ends. Right there. This is just movie 1. I gotta do this 2 more times after this. I need more lumbar support. Luckily, I went out and I bought this chair specifically for doing this series because it has adjustable lumbar support. Oh, oh yeah. See, that's how you do it, Ray. Here it comes.
Good. Very good.
There's one of the layers. Boromir is going out of his way to help train the hobbits on swordplay. Look at this. Look at this bonding. Imagine he never noticed that he had dropped the ring there. They got all the way to like Mordor, be like, okay, time to drop the... Oh, fuck, it's on that mountain. Legolas, you could at least carry one of the hobbits. Come on. You can walk on snow because you're super light or whatever, but... Look at it, you can carry 1 or 2 of them.
We cannot stay here! This will be the death of the hobbits!
There's that layer again. He's concerned for the hobbits, Merry and Pippin, and he's training them earlier on. He's fooling around with them, having fun. He says to give them a moment after Gandalf's death later on, and he dies for them at the end of the movie. So it's like, you know, more layers to him than what first appears.
Speak, friend, and enter Melon. We must face the long dark of Moria, but its worth was greater than the value of the Shire.
Frodo's like, holy fuck, I'm rich. Pippin talking about how he's hungry. I'd never heard that dialogue before. I never watched the movies with headphones on, so I guess I miss it.
It's a pity Bilbo didn't kill him when he had the chance.
Tis pity that stayed Bilbo's hand. Pity of Bilbo may rule the fate of many.
And it does. For if Gollum wasn't there, then the ring wouldn't have been destroyed. Frodo couldn't let it go. It happened because of an accident. It's almost like this is a well-told story.
The dwarf city of Dwarrowdelf.
So I used to work at Amazon back in the day. And in the building I worked in, we had these things called V&As, which were super tall, like shelves, where you would stack products that you could go and get them out of boxes and whatnot. You had to use cherry pickers to go up there because they were super tall. And the first time I saw them, I thought of that scene, just like the music swelling and Sam going like, well, that's an eye-opener, ain't no mistake. Really weird thing to think about when you're working at Amazon, but that's what popped in my head.
No. And the second hall.
I'm pretty sure that's Boromir that came over and put his hand on Gimli's shoulder. Yeah, it was. See, he's a caring individual. There's more to him than just a guy that wants the ring.
They have a cave troll.
That guy tried to do a 360 and got sniped out of the air. Yeah. Brutal. He just keeps like selling it. He's still selling it. In actuality, he's perfectly fine because he has the mithril. So, what is he selling? You know, why is he collapsing? Was it just the force of it pushing in that took the wind out of him? But I do remember thinking as a kid, he needs to pretend to die more often because they all fought super hard when he died. Also, the stab mark is on his right right side, but the spear stuck in like on his bottom left, didn't it? God damn. It's like an infestation of cockroaches.
A Balrog.
That's cheating. That's another thing, Boromir helps him cross the bridge too. More story beats that connect Boromir with Merry and Pippin. It's such a cool monster design. Fucking shadow and flame with big old wings and big horns. Reminded me of, there was this Yu-Gi-Oh card that, like, I don't remember this card's name. Editor, throw up a photo of the card. It it reminded me of the Balrog. What do you guys think? He's just flexing right now, like, you want to fucking go, bro?
Shall not pass!
Arguably one of the most quoted movie lines in history. Like how he did the whole Jesus pose thing as he was going down. Zack Snyder would later use this music in his Man of Steel teaser trailer. Editor, compare.
I have the eyes of a hawk and the ears of a fox.
Some people are annoyed that Gimli gets made comic relief in these movies, but it's funny. It works. And he's a badass when he needs to be a badass.
And you know what this dwarf says to that? Ishkakwi. I Gorug.
I want to know what he said. Probably said something about his mother. If anybody knows, let me know down in the comments what he actually said.
Realm of the Lord Celeborn and of Galadriel, Lady of Light.
I'm always curious, like, how well defended are, like, how secure are these elvish cities? Like, we've seen Rivendell and now Lothlorien, but there doesn't seem to be like any walls. I mean, there's scout locations, but if a massive army just rolls through, what's your defensive position, you know? Maybe that's the point, is that elves can use the force and their nature surrounding them to deal more damage than they would if they were just shooting arrows behind walls. I don't know. I'm just thinking militarily.
Yet hope remains, while the company is true.
Speaks of hope while looking at Sam, because Sam is the best boy. Quentin Tarantino, get out of the editing room for Lord of the Rings. Wait, oh my god. Hang on. I want to go back. I never caught that before. Was there one hobbit being held on a stick? Oh my god, there is! What the fuck? That's brutal. There was like an orc running around with a stick and there was like a hobbit on the end of it, like he had been impaled or something.
You would have a queen who shall love me and despair.
I'm just gonna say it, she can really pull off green.
I passed the test.
I wasn't the only one as a kid who had no idea what the hell was going on right there, right? But I think as an adult, it was, if she took the ring, that's what she would become. She would be corrupted, and that's what she would become. Like, everybody would love me, and all despair, and all stuff like that. And the fact that she withdrew herself means that she passed the test. And she was good. At least I think. I could be wrong. But I didn't get that as a kid, and I do as an adult. That guy's so fucking cool. They never really use the knives, do they? Merry and Pippin. I mean, they find the belt, I guess, in there. Maybe they were taken by the Uruks, probably.
For she is more fair than all the jewels beneath the earth.
That's pretty good line, actually. Yeah. Put that on a Valentine.
I asked her for one hair from her golden head. She gave me 3.
Where do you think he's keeping those hairs? Do you think he ate them? Also, why didn't Boromir get a gift? Everyone else got one except for him.
I hoped we would lose him on the river. too clever a waterman.
I love the fact that he gets stuck on a rock and is just like, we just try again real discreetly.
Yes, there is weakness, there is frailty, but there is courage also, and honor to be found in men.
Honestly, that's the endearing part of humans, is that we are flawed creatures. There's weakness, there's frailty, but when we rise above those, that's when our spirit, the human spirit, really shines. You know? That's what makes us human. Oh wait, is that the Sword of the Kings that one has in the right? Yeah, it is. Huh. See, that's some of the things, like, I've seen these movies before a lot, but, you know, a lot of times I'll, like, put them on and be like, they're comfort watches. But now that I'm here watching them, I'm, like, leaving my brain turned on, I'm, like, really looking at stuff, I, like, notice so much more. If you haven't seen these movies in a while, or any movie that's your favorite movie that you just kind of become complacent with, I say go rewatch it. Go rewatch it and, like, see how much other things you notice that you never did before. You'll probably grow to love it even more.
Where's Frodo?
You all had one job on this quest, is to keep an eye on Frodo, and then he just disappears.
Couldn't be mine. It should be mine. Give it to me.
Everybody has their bad days, okay? Boromir's still a good dude.
I don't know, please.
Just like Loki's brainwashing, all you need is a good hit in the head, and you'll be fine.
Please, Frodo.
I honestly feel really bad for him, because he knows... Poor Boromir, man.
Would you destroy it?
Hey, look, that's the ring that Wormtongue we'll talk about in the next movie. Only if you saw the extended, though. Double kill, one arrow. Lord of the Rings action scenes just seem like, I don't know, just so much fun. I mean, not for the characters, it's life or death, but when I was a kid and I'd pretend to be in battles, sword fighting, I'd always picture Lord of the Rings battles. There's a reason why Legolas is so OP in the video games. And see, look, he's fighting to protect him. He's built up that bond throughout the whole movie, so it's just... This isn't their first interaction. They've always been together, just in the background. And it's his redemption. Sean Bean dies in a lot of things, you know, it's kind of his thing, but I don't think there's a death that will ever top this one. For emotion, story, character, it's just a great moment. And look, his horn is already split, like they'll show in, I think, the Return of the King. God, a lot of people point to the Viggo Mortensen breaking his toes on that helmet, but I think it's more impressive that he actually deflected a real knife that was thrown at him by accident. That's so much more badass. Lurtz is so extra. I can never unsee those two Uruk-hai right there that look and move when Viggo goes over them.
I swear to you, I will not let the White City fall, nor our people fail.
It doesn't get brought up at all in the third movie, but that's another motivation for him to fight at the Battle of Minas Tirith. Because he made a promise to Boromir. He swore he would defend the city. It's not talked about after this, but it's there. It's layers, man. It's a fucking great movie. Great trilogy.
My captain, my king.
It got me a bit teary-eyed. I mean, I knew it was coming, of course. But it's just so well done.
Don't you leave him, Samwise Gamgee. And I don't mean to. Oh, Sam.
I know the joke back in the day was like, oh, Frodo and Sam are so gay for each other. But there's just something about such a strong bond between friends and like a brotherhood being formed. It's always so powerful. I wish we saw more versions of it, you know? And that's a small detail I never picked up either, is that Aragorn puts on Boromir's bracers with the Gondor tree in it. A constant reminder of his promise to Boromir, maybe? Again, that's why these movies are so good, because there's all these tiny little pieces moving that they're in the background for you to notice, and it makes the world feel alive.
What if we hold true to each other?
And I guess if you want to look more into it, Gimli grabs the bracer right there. Who knows, maybe that's symbolic for him grabbing onto Boromir too. Staying true to him, like Aragorn just said, even though he's dead. Who knows? Layers. There's so much. There's so much. There's the marshlands right beyond it too, where the dead marshes. It's almost like everything's so planned and it so fits together so well. Lord of the Rings is just one giant movie. Hence why I'm watching it like this. We made it. We made it to the end of the first one. And I needed to go to the bathroom. So if you don't mind, I'm going to go test out how well my aim is.
A few moments later.
There's not enough. There wasn't enough room to turn around in there, so gotta retreat backwards. Okay. Well, that was an experience. Fellowship of the Ring is now done. I'm gonna go ahead and jump right in to the Two Towers. Oh, for those of you who are gonna guess what time it is, you're probably already pretty off. I didn't expect there to be, what, 4 trains so far? What's the counter at? Yeah, it's more trains than I thought there would be. So my cat is playing with one of my charging cables. Hang on. Hey, this isn't a toy. Yank it off the wall. In fact, I should probably introduce y'all. If you remember my Doctor Strange video, then you saw Tiny Cat. Tiny Cat is no longer with me. She found a nice family that can take care of her, but it made me want to have a cat. So say hello to Other Cat. Say hello to the audience. Good girl. And because she's here, cat video. Suck it, algorithm. Hey, do you want to go in your tree again? Here you go. Go in your tree. Yeah, a decision was made not to keep Tiny Cat for various reasons, but don't worry, I found her a nice home with actually some friends of mine whose older cat had recently just passed, so she's in a nice, loving home. Previously on The Lord of the Rings. Gandalf's a badass. The Two Towers. We are a third of the way through this challenge, everybody. And oh boy, oh, my back is killing me right now. I need to like do yoga if I ever do an in one sitting again.
Real elvish rope.
Yeah, and you wanted a knife instead, remember?
I can smell it. We're not alone.
Are they implying that Gollum smells so bad that they can both smell it?
You filthy little thieves.
Listen, it's not their fault you couldn't guess the riddle, what's in my pocket. Such a toddler. You know how there's a rumored version of the movie Cats with like the butthole version? Like all the cats have their buttholes? Do you think there's a secret Gollum version with him without his loincloth?
We will swear on the places.
And that could be another reason why the ring was destroyed. since Gollum ends up breaking that promise, he tries to kill him and take the ring. And when Gollum eventually does take the ring, they slip and fall off. The ring could have been punishing him for breaking his word by killing him. The only way to kill him in that moment was to fall into the lava. I don't know. Maybe.
He needs water. Please.
This may be one of the dumbest things Pippin has done, honestly. Because he should know that they're not going to do anything to help him. They're just going to fuck with him. Other cat doesn't seem to have liked that I introduced her to everyone because she just keeps going in between my feet constantly. God, look how beautiful that looks, man. I want to go to New Zealand.
Less than a day ahead of us.
And if I remember correctly, all three of them were injured during these running scenes. Vigo had broken toes, Orlando had a broken rib, and the stunt double, or the size double for Gimli, had like a dislocated knee, which I think is the worst one of all.
Legolas, what do your elf eyes see?
Is that racist? Feels a little racist. It's like, what do you mean elf eyes, huh? Yeah, I'm an elf and I have eyes, but you don't have to say it like that, Aragorn. Aragorn comes back, and like, no, dude, I'm half elf, bro. Don't worry, I'm half elf.
Saruman and the union of the two towers.
Ah, he said it. He said that name.
The old world will burn in the fires of industry.
Capitalism. Again, how are these things made? They're like... They talk in the last movie about, like, breeding goblin men or something, but... How? They bury them in the ground or something? Do you think any of those dudes who are running with orcs ever turned to one and been like, "That's an orc. They're pretty bad. Do you think maybe we're on the wrong side?" Yeah.
Saruman the White has ever been our friend and ally.
This dude looks like he should be in like a mental asylum with a abusive head nurse or something. And there's another train. Go ahead and add it to the counter. This one will probably be a long one. I'm gonna use it to get a energy drink because I'm starting to feel a little tired. Here we go. I don't want to run you over. Whew. Other cat. Come here. Hello. So how are you doing? How do you like the Lord of the Rings? She still doesn't like being held all that much. Okay, I'll put you down. Here you go. Lean back. Oh. Whew. Here we go. Back to it.
Too much.
Oh, he punched me in my armor. Oh, and since I introduced Other Cat to y'all, some of y'all may be wondering where my dog is. Don't worry, my dog's actually having a sleepover at his friend's house. Go ahead and throw up the photo. Isn't that adorable?
What about them?
Look how good all these orcs look, though. I mean, they're not CGI'd. Look at the Hobbit trilogy. You can tell a CGI orc, but it just looks so good. How did his hands get untied?
Saruman has poisoned the mind of the king and claimed lordship over these lands.
Oh, yeah, I remember. Aramir's sword's gonna fall out right here.
For your friends.
It fell out. Is that the most common knowledge bit of behind-the-scenes information about this trilogy? That he broke his toes during that kick? I think it might be. Or maybe that and that they were all filmed simultaneously.
Their bonds were cut.
Well, except for Pippin's, who were already broken somehow. Oh, there's even helmets of Rohirrim soldiers right there. Maybe of the people that died in the raid. Like, what, 5 helmets? Again, fun little background details. Yeah, this guy has a real hate boner if he's still following them after taking a spear to the back. Wait, wasn't Mary's injury on the other side of his head earlier in the movie? Because I'm trying to think. It was on the right side earlier when they were being carried, and now it was on his left right there. Now it's back to being on the right. His injury is swapping sides.
Treebeard, some call me.
know, you sound a lot like this dwarf I knew named Gimli. Who could it be?
He's led us into a swamp.
And you could even see them walking in the marshes.
We must stop.
Don't touch me.
Gollum's face. He's like, oh. Huh. I thought we were bonding. Who's better? Dobby or Gollum? Interpret what I mean by better in your own way.
A great battle long ago.
Maybe we'll see that in the Rings of Power show. And apparently that flashback scene that I talked about, the start of Return of the King with him on the boat with Deagle or whatever, it was supposed to play right there when he's like, oh, Smeagol, and it would go into the flashback scene and then it would come out with the Black Riders. It would have worked, but it's a better opening for Return of the King, honestly. That's cheating.
This forest is old.
How old is it?
Very old.
I don't get it.
They met someone they did not expect.
It's cheating to use both their voices. Though anybody that saw the trailer would know, because the trailer gave it away, that it's Gandalf.
Smote his ruin upon them.
That's so cool. That's bragging rights right there. If I was with Gandalf right there, I'd probably be like, so you killed the Balrog, dude? Where? Can we just like go see it? That's fucking cool.
I am Gandalf the White. They're far safer than you are about to be.
Ha!
Shadowfax.
I've always loved the fact that when Gandalf says his name, Shadowfax even like nods. I'm leaning back a bit in the chair right now because the back is starting to hurt.
Beneath the roof of sleeping leaves and the dreams.
I'm awake.
Sam, no!
I never understood how they couldn't see them. You know, because they're kind of in the open. There's a few rocks in front of them, but I mean, maybe the excuse is they're just not looking down because they're so small, but still. Yeah, whatever. Also, their armor is cool.
He's led us this far, Sam. Mr. Frodo, no.
Mr. Nodo Fro. Looking at the recording time of where I'm at right now, I'm pretty sure at this point, if I was doing like Harry Potter or something, I'd probably be on the 3rd movie by now. But I'm just barely halfway through the 2nd one.
I'd give anything for a whiff of old Toby.
They're like Lord of the Rings version of Cheech and Chong. Another cool location that just makes me wish that there were official Lego sets of Lord of the Rings.
Your staff. You would not part an old man from his walking stick.
You're a wizard, dude. That's a weapon. I'm not stupid. Though I do like how they're selling it by having Gandalf take Legolas's arm.
I have not passed so far in death to bandy crooked words with a witless worm.
Fucking got him.
Hey, it's me, your skin. I'm craving a balanced clean with CeraVe.
He's got like some beard hairs that are longer and out of place. It drives me crazy in this scene. Clean it up. Take a comb through that or something. Ugh. I do like his hilt on the sword of like it being 2 horse heads coming together, and it kind of forms a little heart, honestly. I mean, do you not at least have like a jail or something to put him in? You just have to let him go.
No parents should have to bury their child.
That got me a bit teary-eyed too. It doesn't matter how many times you see a movie. As long as the emotions in it can still affect you.
Draw him away from your women and children. You must fight.
Look at that symbolism. Gandalf reaches a hand and puts it on the throne. Theoden's a bit Skeptical of that because there was another white wizard that just took over him while he was on the throne. So he's a bit, he's a bit reluctant. It makes sense. It makes sense. Show, don't tell. Storytelling.
We make for the refuge of Helm's Deep.
He thinks he's leading them to safety. What they will get is a massacre.
Yeah, but we'll also get a kick-ass fucking battle scene.
At first light on the 5th day, at dawn, look to the east.
So can Gandalf see into the future? Because he knows what day he'll be back. And he knows his search won't be in vain. And he also knew that the Ents were going to realize they were strong. So can he see in the future and know everything's going to be alright anyway? I don't know. What's his power?
Turn this fellow free. He has seen enough of war.
I know that scene was cut from the theatrical version too. Which kind of makes the scene later on seem weirdly out of place. We'll talk about it when we get to it, but that's set up for another scene. That's payoff. But the theatrical reason, there is no setup. It's just the payoff. Which is why extended is the better version.
2 serpents with emerald eyes, one devouring, the other crowned with golden flowers.
Grima got a good look at that ring that he just spit on for like a second.
The women of this country learned long ago. Those without swords can still die upon them. I fear neither death nor pain.
See, something like that, women of this country learned long ago, those without swords could still die upon them. Was there like a war that was fought where there was like a mass slaughtering of the women and children or something? Because that's how that kind of lesson is ingrained in you. Again, there's like these tiny little world building moments that imply so many other things have happened in this world. At least that's what I think she's saying. Is like, oh yeah, just because I'm a woman and I don't have a sword on me all the time doesn't mean I still can't die, so I should prepare myself to fight when I can. That's what I took from it. Maybe Rohan almost fell before. I don't know. Maybe it says it in the Silmarillion.
A dangerous road to take through the mountain.
But look how pretty it all is.
Send out your wild riders.
It's my task. Mine. My own.
Can't you hear yourself?
Don't you know who you sound like?
That always confused me, because I was just like, who does Sam think he sounds like? Gollum? Is he talking about Gollum?
This is my friend. You don't have any friends. Nobody likes you. Leave now and never come back.
They even have different pupil dilations. Smeagol's are a bit bigger and Gollum's are like smaller. And the fact that Andy Serkis didn't get an Oscar for this performance will always be criminal. At least give him an Oscar now. Like, whatever role he gets, give him an Oscar just as comeuppance for not giving it to him for Smeagol.
Stupid fat hobbit. It ruins it.
Oh, the amount of times people called each other stupid fat hobbits in my school growing up.
Potatoes. Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
Man, that's pretty solid. You can make a rap out of that or something, huh?
Give it to us raw and wriggling.
That's what she said.
I don't even need to say it, do I?
You're bound to an errand of secrecy.
That's not suspicious.
Bind their hands.
And that's the end of part 1 of 2 Towers. Now we're going on to part 2, which means we are about halfway done with this entire marathon. Because there's technically 6 parts across all 3 movies, and we're now down 3 parts with 3 to go. Miranda Otto is a very beautiful woman. Ugh, I don't like how soggy it looks. Oh, doesn't look good.
You cannot be 80.
87.
You are one of the Dunedain.
Maybe he's not half elf. I thought he was half elf. Elf? Elf, not elf. Elf. Because Dunedain seems to be its own thing. Or is that what they call man and elf, like, mixtures? Do they call them Dunedains? I don't know. But I know people, when they watch the Hobbit movies, which I don't like the Hobbit movies, but they'll freak out whenever at the end he's like, go find a young Strider and he'll be your friend or something. And everyone's like, what? Aragorn would be like a 4-year-old at this time. He's 87 here, and The Hobbit takes place 60 years before this, so he'd be in his late 20s. So it makes sense that Aragorn would be able to meet Legolas around that time. People point to that as being like a critique of The Hobbit, you know, just fan servicey stuff. But it makes sense. It makes sense. Time for another bathroom break. Here we go. Style.
Hama? I'm not sure.
Okay, so that guy's name is Hama. No, Hama. He waited too. He waited so that they could lock eyes. I can suspend my disbelief for a lot of things in these movies, but not that. Aragorn's always beheading people. He had that goblin in the first movie. He had the orc right there. I wonder if he beheads anyone in Return of the King. That warg had no peripheral vision whatsoever. Ugh. This guy. Honestly, that guy's face always made me like lose my appetite. Just all of his snot and shit all around him, or blood, or whatever the hell that is. Ugh.
The wolves of Isengard will return.
Except that they don't. Why are they running? They still have like a good 2 miles before they even reach it. But again, it's another awesome structure. There are so many awesome buildings in Lord of the Rings and set pieces that it really annoys me that there isn't official Lego sets for them. I've seen like Lord of the Rings Legos, but they're all relatively simplistic. You know how you have Lego Death Star and everything? Make a Lego Helm's Deep. Make it 5,000 pieces and make it huge. Or Lego Minas Tirith. You know how much money I would spend on Legos if they made that? All of the money. I have nowhere I could fit them, but I just want them. I've looked on Amazon. There's like some smaller ones, and even on Etsy there isn't ones. So it's just like, come on, Lego, get on it. Make some official Lord of the Rings ones. Maybe it's a licensing thing. I'm looking it up now. There's a Lego Helm's Deep, but I mean, come on. This barely looks like it. And it seems like, how many pieces is it? 1,300 pieces? Yeah, sure. Nah, dude, that's not Lego Lord of the Rings, bro.
The women and children. Get them into the caves.
Bring down the wall.
Honestly, why does Saruman even tolerate Wormtongue right now? I mean, he told him about the small passage, but what other use could he have here? He was good to have like as a inside man in Rohan, but now not so much. What do you think they're chanting? I always thought they were chanting, hurt you, crush you, hurt you, crush you. But I don't know.
March to Helm's Deep!
God, it's so cool. And yeah, you could see the entire army out of Isengard right there. Why does it zigzag right there? Is there like an obstacle that had to go around? Because it just kind of seems pointlessly doing that. And here's the payoff. Like I mentioned, the setup was earlier when he was calming that horse and setting it free. And here's the payoff. The horse shows up and rescues him. They're bonded. He even lays down with him. But in the theatrical, there's no setup. It's just the payoff. And you're left there wondering, like, what's this random horse? Just found him? Okay. Extended edition, better than theatrical. Just gonna say. Though there are some instances of the theatrical being a step up over extended. But I think there's Return of the King. We'll get to it in Return of the King.
There is nothing for you here. Only death.
See, now that's a manipulative questioning, really. Like, oh, well, do you not love me too? I mean, I get he's just being an overprotective father, though. So, but you think with elves living so long that they would eventually grow out of that phase, or maybe it's because elves do live long that they don't have the benefit of hindsight with age, since they're just stay this, they're immortal essentially. Age to them is just a number ticker. It's not necessarily like age comes wisdom. They are wise because of everything they've seen, but it's not. How do I put this? With humans, we have to take a step back and reaffirm our lives when we get to a certain age, and we're just like, fuck, maybe I should change some things. Elves don't really have that.
The time of the elves is over. Do we leave Middle-earth to its fate? Do we let them stand alone?
Aragorn, son of Arathorn, and Boromir of Gondor.
The first time I saw this movie, I immediately thought that Faramir looked just like Boromir. Like, they look so similar. I remember having that thought.
He was my brother.
Also, weird thing, his bracers were missing. I don't know what happened to them. I gave them to him for his birthday when I was just a little boy. And they were very important to both him and me, and they were gone. Did you guys see them by chance? They're very sentimental to us. Again, look at them. They look like brothers in real life. Great casting choices. I think it's the nose, honestly. They have, like, similar noses.
The weapon of the enemy has been found. This thing must come to Gondor. Bring me back this mighty gift.
I understand why this scene was cut, but I really like it because it just adds more characterization to Boromir's actions in the first movie. And it sets up, Denethor and Faramir's relationship in the next movie. It's almost like these movies are really good because it all comes full circle. Everything.
To enter the Forbidden Pool bears the penalty of death.
Forbidden Pool. You made that up.
That's enough.
Why? Why even beat him?
What did they steal?
Precious!
It just looks so cool. And it's all practical. That's what's even cooler. They build this stuff not out of actual stone. It's like styrofoam or, some kind of material, wood and styrofoam or whatever, but it's awesome. I wish I could go to these places. Elon Musk, instead of buying Twitter, can you put all your billions of dollars into making a real life Minas Tirith in a mountain somewhere? That'd be cool. We all wish we could enter a room being that much of a badass. When I see a double door and I have to push them open, I'd be lying if I didn't pretend I was being Aragorn in that moment.
Send out riders, my lord. Gondor will answer. Gondor.
See, that's a bit of character growth for Aragorn. I don't think he would have ever even suggested calling Gondor for anything in the last movie. But Boromir proved himself to him, and he made an oath to Boromir.
They fight beside you because they would not be parted from
Yeah, but
you.
he's not your king, technically.
Because they love you.
Whoa, we just met, 3 days ago. Aragorn, this is what happens when you keep giving longing stares to women. Though I heard there was deleted scenes of Éowyn fighting Uruk-hai that made it into the caves. Maybe if they do re-release The Lord of the Rings in theaters for the 25th anniversary, I don't know, they'll include those scenes as well. That'd be pretty cool. I like to see Éowyn kicking ass in Helm's Deep. Legolas, let me sit you down and let's watch a little Spartan movie together.
What is your name?
Hollis, son of Hammer, my lord.
Son of Hama. Hama was the first dude that was attacked by wargs, wasn't he? Yeah, how do they not have Legos for Lord of the Rings? One of their main characters is literally called Legolas. Make Legos!
We come to honor that allegiance. We are proud to fight alongside men once more.
Whoa, Legolas was even wearing armor. Yeah, he's got shoulder armor. I never noticed that Legolas wears armor for this fight.
You could have picked a better spot.
You could have moved over 3 spaces so you could see in that crack right there. Wow, look at that. Hey, Game of Thrones. Do you see that? It's still night, but they can see. and we can see. And look how intimidating that army is. Isn't that pretty intimidating? Not only is it still intimidating, but it's entertaining because you can actually see the battle. Game of Thrones, do you see how it's done? Up. There's another train. What they're fighting for. Game of Thrones, are you seeing this? It's still pretty fucking scary. He's secretly turning over and be like, yeah, but did you see that shot though? Okay, only 9,999 to go. Nothing will ever come close to being able to touch the Battle of Helm's Deep. Wilhelm!
I'm on 17!
I've never read the books, but I heard that them counting their kills was actually in the books too. You'd think it'd just be like a movie invention, but apparently it's in the books. Oh, that elf just got yanked off. Ooh. That's cheap.
Is this all you can conjure, Saruman?
You just had to go and open your mouth, didn't you? I never believed that drama though, like Legolas couldn't kill him in time because somebody else could just pick it up and do it. And there were plenty of other torches around, see? But hey, at least it probably took out a good couple hundred Uruk-hai at least. Peter! Hey, another decapitation by Aragorn. I had a friend of mine who, when we saw this movie, he was convinced that the orc that killed Haldir and that Aragorn punched off the ladder was the same orc as the one that was on the rock, like, committing the charge, simply because they weren't wearing helmets. And I just never believed that.
It's a long way.
Toss me.
Character development. Gimli's character development is he didn't want to be tossed. Now he's okay with being tossed. They thought of everything. Got to bring the big ass ladders out now. Also, listen carefully. I think somebody says cowabunga right here. Hang on. Right there. Cowabunga. Also, Legolas just won the competition. That was like 200 Uruk-hai he just took out. I mean, yeah, maybe you can't confirm that because some might have survived the fall of the ladder, but benefit of the doubt, give him at least 50. What are you doing?
Fall back! Fall back!
It always unsettles me seeing the Uruk-hai right there, and then they're just surrounded. Like how close they are to actually everybody's now that they've broken in. And then they're already on the stairs that Aragorn and Legolas and Gimli are on.
Many of these trees were my friends.
You just done fucked up, Saruman.
He tried to take the ring from Frodo. After swearing an oath to protect him, he tried to kill him.
Didn't Elrond say, like, no oath take you as far as you will? Well, I guess that's just an oath to not make them go on further than they can. They probably did take an oath to protect him with their lives. Semantics, I guess. See, I wonder what happened to, like, the conscripts, the elderly men and children that were called to fight. We don't see them again. Did they all die, or are they down in the caves? I don't know.
At dawn, look to the east.
And sudden horses! Though I do remember playing Warcraft 3 Reign of Chaos. You know, there'd be Helm's Deep battles for custom games. For those archways to the right in that hall was a horse stable. That's where they put the horse stables for the movie. So maybe that's where the horses came from, honestly. We don't know. We don't see that side. That's my headcanon anyway. What are the guys in the back slashing at? They're already, like, dead and fallen over. Gandalf is the wielder of the sun. The sacred fire is the sun, I think. The flame of voodoo? Flame of voodoo. Whatever he said on the bridge, I'm pretty sure is the sun. I like to think that Saruman had no idea that the trees could move like this, and he's just like, what the fuck? There's fucking walking trees out here? That's stupid. The other one comes and just dunks his head. It's always fun in those scenes when there's a lot of CGI characters running around and all this chaos happening, like, to always look at somewhere new on the screen, because you'll see a new, like, CGI animation of a character getting wiped out or something. Like, I saw a bunch of people just hanging on ladders. Don't be pulling your sword on the best boy.
It's like in the great stories, Mr. Frodo. The ones that really mattered.
Saruman's all like, I'm going back to bed. I can't deal with this shit right now.
But there's some good in this world, Mr. Frodo. And it's worth fighting
for. Sam, the forever optimist.
If you let them go, your life will be forfeit. Then it is forfeit.
That plot point never gets brought up in Return of the King. Well, I mean, Denethor does send him to an obvious death to retake Osgiliath, but they never make mention that that's what his punishment is. Maybe there were just too many things going on with, you know, the actual war happening that they couldn't really enforce that right now.
He was twitching. He was twitching because he's got my axe embedded in his nervous system.
I'm surprised they know what nervous systems are in this world. Do they have that complex understanding of anatomy?
I don't believe it. It can't be. It is.
Again, Cheech and Chong.
No hard feelings. Gollum, Gollum.
That's not a red flag.
The battle for Middle-earth is about to begin.
Make him crawl.
Yeah, the pupil dilation is consistent with throughout the entire movie. It's such a brilliant, tiny thing that shows who's in control. And it very easily distinguishes them.
He could let her do it.
That looks so inviting. At least it looks warm. All right. 2 down, 1 to go. The last one, which is also the longest. Do you think that actor that plays Deagle, though, was dejected when he went to the Two Towers in theaters and saw that his scene had been cut, and he was like, oh, I'm not going to be in Lord of the Rings anymore. And then he went to see Return of the King. He's like, oh, there I am. And for those of you saying, like, oh, they knew what movies they're going to be in, well, tell that to Christopher Lee, because he didn't know he was cut from Return of the King. Or at least not until very late did he know he was cut. It immediately grabs Smeagol. Well, there's a train coming, so let's go ahead. Boom.
Precious.
It's like watching this in theaters. You have your popcorn. You're just like, no more popcorn. Why did I get the extra large? This was the first Lord of the Rings I saw in theaters, and I saw it in theaters 3 times. I remember when I was a kid, we had moved to this new town, and one of my best friends, he had moved into the house in the same suburb that were brand new suburbs. They were just being built. There's only like 4 houses in this entire area, where today there's like 200 something, probably more. But they had like the sunflower fields in this area that hadn't been, you know, cleared out and set for building houses. There were tall sunflowers, like 4 or 5 feet. So what we would do is we would go into that field with like large kitchen knives. We would play Lord of the Rings, like the Battle of Helm's Deep or Pelennor Fields or Minas Tirith. We'd just be in that field being like, God. So you see like 2 11-year-olds with giant kitchen knives just like out there slashing down sunflower stalks. It was so much fun. I remember going up to my mom and be like, Mom, we're gonna go play Lord of the Rings. And she's like, okay. you can use these knives. They weren't steak knives, but they were from those butchers. You know, they were from like the steak knife set that you would get.
There should be enough. For what? The journey home.
Eternal Optimist. Number 3, ladies and gentlemen. Almost done. And I'm feeling pretty good, honestly. Not feeling tired or anything. My ears kind of hurt because of, you know, headphones on. But I think my back has gotten used to it for the most part. Every now and again, I'll just lean back like this. And here's a scene that just needed to be in the theatrical. I don't know why they cut it, but Saruman was the villain of the second movie. And then you come into the third, and it's just like, oh, he's locked in his tower. Just leave him there. All right, on to Sauron. There was no closure for Saruman. So this is a for sure scene that needed to be in this movie.
You hang from a gibbet for the sport of your own crows. We shall have peace.
Yeah, get fucked.
His attack will come soon. You're all going to die.
And now Saruman is a harbinger.
Shoot him. Stick an arrow in his gob. No.
I love how Legolas is like, yeah, I'll just do that. Sounds like a good idea.
And that brats roll on the floor with the dogs.
Okay, hang on. It's not just the brats that roll on the floor with the dogs. I still roll on the floor with my dog all the time. You gotta play with the dog. I mean, it's fun to play with dogs. Ooh. Now that's a villain death. I imagine Theoden being all like, so Saruman's dead, Gandalf, but can we go and check on Grima? Nah. And hey, you know what? While I got your attention, go ahead and give this video a like for the editor. This is going to be a monster to edit, and just go ahead and give it a like for them. I'm sure they'll appreciate it.
I'll take that, my lad.
We're still going home.
I was going to say a bad joke. Maybe I'm just too far into it. I'm just like, oh, that's a joke I don't need to say. But you've all seen Midsommar, right? If you have, then you probably know what the joke was going to be. And if you haven't, then just don't worry about it. Hometown. You got fancy ales, you can drink 'em by the flagon, but the only brew for the brave and true.
Pippin!
But the only brew for the brave and true comes from that green dragon.
No news of Frodo.
No word.
So you got no word from Frodo, but can you not see the future? Can you not predict, oh yes, on the 6th day, the sun will rise to the east over Frodo, who is this close to Mount Doom? Does that not work? Or can you only see his future? How far can you see in the future? Okay, I want to see if the pupil consistency transferred over to this movie from Two Towers.
Smeagol losing his nerve. No.
Yep, it did.
Star. Yes. The stars, and then...
Just love the fact that one half of himself is so over the other half of himself and wants him to hurry up.
The stars are veiled.
Legolas actually came out here to throw up because he had too much to drink, and he heard Aragorn coming. He's like, "Oh, I'll just stand up straight and look wise, be elvish." There's another train coming, so go ahead and add it.
I see you.
Whee! Imagine Sauron's just, whee! What's going on over here, guys? I gotta pee right now. Yep. Hop. Ooh, going backwards was a bad choice. Whew. I'm back.
Sauron moves to strike the city of Minas Tirith. Beacons of Gondor are lit. Rohan must be ready for war.
Follow the river. Look to the black ships.
Okay, see, look. He knows about the black ships that are coming. So how does he not know where Frodo is? Does he see the future or does he not? Or can he see things that are happening or can he not? I don't know.
last of the Longbottom leaf.
I know you've run out.
Jesus Christ, you ran out of that entire barrel? You had a barrel to yourself, Pippin. You might have a problem, dude. He's like, okay, asshole. Jesus. Oh, wow, okay, you too, asshole. This poor guard is getting pushed around. Damn, that 5-year-old can sure shoot a look.
There is nothing for you here. Only death.
Liar!
The crownless again shall be king. Reforge the sword.
Again, Lego! Make this into a Lego! I want it. I want Minas Tirith Lego sets, please. Look at this. Look intricate. Just, oh. I want it. I want it huge. Alright?
That's what she said.
It's a tree. Gandalf.
Yeah, I saw the tree, dude. It's pretty obvious.
Lord Denethor is Boromir's father. In fact, it's better if you don't speak at all, Bergentu.
Gandalf had to remember who he's dealing with. Do you think Denethor ever climbs up those stairs and sits on the actual throne? He just like tells his guard, no disturbances, and he just like, hee 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 hee. Ah.
The mightiest man may be slain by one arrow, and Boromir was pierced by many.
Just be thankful none of them hit him in the knee. He'd never adventure again. That's why you come to my channel, right? For the decade-old Skyrim jokes.
Authority is not given to you to deny the return of the king.
He said it. He said it. That's 3 for 3 title drops.
A faint and fading hope that one day it will flower, that a king will come. All will answer more.
Peter! That's actually behind the scenes footage of him directing. That wasn't planned at all. They just snuck it in.
Sauron has yet to reveal his deadliest servant. You've met him before.
He's yet to reveal his deadliest weapon, but you've met him before. I don't know about the lore of this building, Minas Morgul, but I always pictured it as like a gateway between the land of Gondor and Mordor. Like if you went through Minas Morgul, you'd be from Gondor to Mordor, you know? Like it connected them through that mountain pass right there or something. And there's another train. Whenever trains come, I give my ears a little bit of a break. I do love the Witch King's introduction, though.
We must climb.
I don't know if I'd want to risk it, honestly. If they just happen to look up. I mean, it's kind of being blocked by that wall, but still, that's risky. But then again, you probably can't wait.
We've sent scouts to Caer Andros. If the orcs attack from the north, we'll have some warning.
Okay, so that picks up where the battle we saw in the last movie. Because they've taken the place across the river and now they're just waiting for them. Because that always bothered me. I never really figured that out. It's pretty obvious, but because they were wrapped in battle at the end of the last movie in Osgiliath. And then this movie, they're all just hanging out. But that explains it.
They're not coming from the north.
They're sitting there like, oh, we are in so much trouble. And look, I like the detail that they have a little hut right there. It's blowing smoke. I mean, it's pretty small. I don't think it could fit both of those guys, but maybe it's just for heat. It's probably like it's a watch. Like you get 1 month on, and then you're done for rotation for a while. That one, how do you even get up there? Where are you camping in that one? Okay, they're getting more and more ridiculous. Alright, something I always noticed in this is that when Aragorn runs past his guard on the right, he slaps his shield. Watch. Bam. Don't know why he does it. He's probably like, hey, Frank.
Good knuckles, raid! And Rohan will answer.
Time for war, motherfuckers.
On the 3rd, we ride for Gondor and war.
When I would see my friend in the hallway, the same friend I went to see these movies with when I was in like middle school, I'd see him in the hallway in school and I'd be like, hey, on the 3rd, we ride for Gondor and war. And he'd be like, dude, shut the fuck up, dude. We're at school. People are going to think we're nerds. It's just like, come on. Lord of the Rings. Everybody loved Lord of the Rings. I even had a replica ring back then, too. I would wear it around my neck at school. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure it fell off on the bus ride home or something because it just was gone. And then we called the bus depot and they didn't find it. So somebody probably found it and was like, oh, it's fucking awesome. Legolas, why are your eyes brown right now? Aren't they supposed to be blue? Shout out to Bernard Hill, by the way. He's the only actor to appear in 2 movies that won 11 Oscars. The most any movie's ever won. Return of the King and Titanic. He was the captain in Titanic. Just a nice little connecting tissue between Return of the King and Titanic. And he dies in both movies. Oh, spoiler for people that haven't seen Titanic.
The city is lost. Tell the men to break cover. We ride for Minas Tirith.
I don't remember this character's name. I don't know if it's even ever said in the movie, but he was in Two Towers as well, working with Faramir. And he was always really nice to Faramir. Your eye is like pussing, dude. You need to wipe that off or some shit.
My son.
Dude, you got problems. Well, you know, he's a grieving parent, I guess. Yeah, I guess waiting probably would have taken too much time because you could still see the army pouring out of Minas Morgul.
The Fat One will take it from you.
What of the wizard? I will break him.
There's another setup that was in the theatrical, but the payoff wasn't in the theatrical. It's only in the extended of the Witch King and Gandalf having their little, I guess, fight or face-off anyway. I'm going to reheat some pizza. Pizza reheated. If you guys want to know a pro tip for reheating pizza? Put a glass of water in there. It'll help reflate them or add moisture in it. And you get better looking pizza. It works. So there you go. If you didn't know, pro tip, put a glass of water in the microwave with your pizza off to the side. All right, back to the movie.
You wish now that our places had been exchanged, that I had died and Boromir had lived.
Yes. It's such a shit thing to say to your son, dude. Like, whatever your grief, you should not treat your only child, well, your only child left, like that. Faramir is a good dude, too.
Crumbs on his jackets.
I mean, I hate it as much as everyone, because it's just like, come on, Frodo, you should know better. Sam's a good dude, but he's just tired, and the ring is just messing with him. And he can relate a lot to Gollum.
That thing around your neck.
And, of course, this doesn't help.
Go home.
Poor Sam, man. In all honesty, Ian McKellen got the Oscar nom in the first movie. Andy Serkis should have gotten it in the second movie, and Sean Astin should have gotten it in the third movie. I'm just saying. Because Sam is fucking phenomenal in this movie. Also, I'm fairly sure those were the Hobbit children that we saw in the first movie. I'm pretty sure they're Peter Jackson's kid, if I remember. I'm about to point out something you're never going to unsee. Look at that horse freaking out. It's going, look at that. Yeah. You will now never unsee that. Denethor is eating, and I'm here stuffing my face. I guess I'm Denethor now. But I know how to wipe my mouth. None of this song can be played because of copyright, but just know, I love it. As gross as some people find it, I do find the enjoyment of that kind of storytelling. You know they're dead, and instead of showing them just being massacred, a single blood drop goes down his face. That tells you all what you need to know.
Every hour lost hastens Gondor's defeat.
We have till dawn. Then we must ride.
And again, his oath to Boromir. He needs to get to that city. He needs to save it. He promised him. On his deathbed, he promised him.
War is the province of men, Eowyn.
The eye twitch, the bitch. What'd you say?
Arwen's life is now tied to the fate of the ring.
Hey, Elrond, how did that happen anyway? Like, how did she get tied to the fate of the ring? I don't know. Seems legit. I want to get that sword. Or, I want to get a replica of that sword. Hanging on the wall. I just love how it just keeps going. You think it's going to end soon. Just nope, 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 nope.
Become who you are born to be. I cannot give you what you seek.
But you looked at me longingly when you rode off to fight the wargs in the last movie.
We're going with you, laddie.
That's like a sitcom shot where it's like, oh, you guys.
Where's he going?
Did he not tell anyone what he was doing? Seems kind of dickish. Maybe you should at least tell Theoden. Hey man, I'm gonna go get that instant win button. BRB.
I would have you smile again.
Theoden, no! Don't tell a woman to smile. It's 2022, dude. You're gonna get canceled, bro. Come on, it's such an easy joke. I had to. I never really knew how I felt about the Ghost Army, you know? On one hand, it's really cool and, you know, they needed it or else the good guys wouldn't win. But on the other hand, it's like an ex machina in a way. It pretty much comes out of nowhere, you know, and they just happen to set up camp on the same mountain that they're dwelling in. I mean, I don't know all about the lore. Maybe in the books it was referenced or something, but it just seems so out of the blue. And there's other cat. She's trying to get on her cat tree, which is right there. Can she make it? Let's find out. Here, I'll help you. There you go. There you go. Good girl. She's still too young to try the jump.
Little hobbits do not belong in war, Master Meriadoc.
Then why did you make me a squire and say I could come if you're just gonna kick me out at the end? It's just such a little cock tease.
Ride with me.
This might be a hot take, I don't know, but I always liked Éowyn more than Arwen. Maybe not as a romantic for Aragorn, but if I had to choose one, I'm going with Éowyn. She's a badass. And here we are, the big battle of the movie. And it only took us 2 hours to get there. I don't know if I ever said this, but I love long movies. I love them. These epics that take 3 to 4 hours to get through, I love them because I want to stay entranced in this world for as long as I can. That's what movies are. They're distractions from the real world, you know? You leave your world and you're in another one, a mystical, fantasy, or magical, or a science fiction world. Stay there as long as possible. Make long movies, epic movies. I'm all about it. That's probably why I'm such an avid binge watcher of things. I'll go through a season of anime in one night. I do not care. I'll wait for it to be finished and then binge it. It's so relatable. Tell me you wouldn't do this if you were in that situation and this started happening to you. I tell you, I might have to invest in new headphones, or at least different headphones if I decide to do another in one sitting. Because, man, these are getting snug over my ear and starting to get a bit sore. I've seen so many people call out Legolas for trying that, but it's just a way to show the audience that nothing's going to work against him. Except the Sword of the King. Though there is a cut coming up that I think the theatrical has a better version of, honestly.
What say you?
Yeah, because I prefer the theatrical version of this scene where it ends where he says, "What say you?" Though it's hard to decide, honestly, because if you just went with the theatrical version, you wouldn't get the skull avalanche coming up. That skull landing was actually filmed after Return of the King had already won the Oscar for Best Picture. After it swept the Oscars, they went and filmed that to add to the extended edition. They were still filming this movie, and it already won all the awards. I think that's so funny.
We fight.
Okay, and that's what I'm talking about. In the theatrical, it cuts right when he says, "What say you?" And you don't see them again for like 45 minutes.
So you don't really know what's going on until they show up. And it's just like, oh, fuck. Instead of the extended where they actually tell you what their answer was and how they're going to get there. And as soon as you see those ships in the extended, you know, oh, that's Aragorn. So, you know, I prefer the theatrical for that. At least for first time watching, anyway.
Release the prisoners.
Catapult! This is just, oh, this is awesome. They catapulted their fallen allies' heads in. That's brutal as fuck, dude.
He's alive.
Wow, look how scary that is. And you can see them all. Look how scary that is. That's intimidating. Game of Thrones. Battle of Winterfell. Though I would love if like a parody movie came out where they show an army over like a wall. And they like, they're in a formation that says like, you're fucked or something.
Send these foul beasts into the abyss!
Those are the ones you want. The stones that hit and roll. Squish as much as possible. Oh, here comes my favorite like piece of music. So cool. Now this is just cheating right here, honestly. This is fucking hacks. Like during summer when I had the house to myself, I would take like my toy sword, you know, plastic toy sword, and I'd like arrange the pillows around the couches so it's like pretend to be orcs and whatnot. And I just pretend I'm in this battle. Like I had the movie on in the background. I'm just like, oh, you know, like stabbing my fake sword into like the pillows and like slicing them. I would just do that for hours. It was just so much fun to me to pretend I was in this battle. Look at the orc in the background just going down the line of archers and hitting them in the back with a hammer. Oh, dude, your nose. Wipe your nose, man. And there's the end to part 1 of Return of the Kings, which means we only have one part left of this marathon. Ah, damn. We're in the home stretch, everyone. Peter! No! You went full circle, and you died in the end. Yeah, I shouldn't have thrown away best boy, Frodo. This scene was in the theatrical as well, but I also think it's unnecessary to even have it. Because he's like, wait a minute. I didn't eat this. God damn it. I didn't eat it. God damn that Gollum. He tricked me. I do not like spiders. I'm getting a little bit of the, you know, the Ghiblies. But I think it's big enough to the point where it's not really bothering me all too much. I mean, I still don't like it. But if you want to see reaction to how I normally would react to a spider, go watch my Jackass video. I don't like spiders. Oh, get it out, get it out. I don't like that. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Precious Masters doing.
Oh yeah, I said earlier that Sauron probably named the ring Precious. God, that feels so long ago. This video is going to be incredibly long. And incredibly hard to get around the copyright, I imagine, because Lord of the Rings is a magnet for that stuff. So if there's any weird editing, like speeding up or changing the pitch of the voices, that's probably why. The editor had no choice. And I trust the editor. Say in the comments how much you love the editor for this, because I can imagine it's going to be insane to edit. I'm sure he's dead.
Gondor is lost. There is no hope for men.
No matter what comes through that gate, you will stand your ground.
Ah, fuck. Hot take time. Spiders are proof that God doesn't exist. I mean, just look at them. They're that many eyes, their legs, how they move, like the way they eat. It's just like nah. God wouldn't create such a thing. Well, maybe a sick and twisted one would.
He will not touch him again.
I don't know where I got this from, but when Sam said, "You will not touch him again," I always thought that she reached down and like hit him again with her leg. I don't know where I got that from, but that's always been in my head, so I'm always shocked when it doesn't happen in the actual movie. Sam is a legend. Sam is a fucking legend. Look at this thing. Yeah! Get its fucking eye. Fuck you. When you get to hell, tell him Samwise Gamgee sent you.
Dad. I legit thought he said dad. He's saying dead. I know that now, but when I first saw it, I was like, Dad? What? What? That's a revelation.
This fellow ain't dead.
And here's the payoff to that earlier setup. The payoff that wasn't in the theatrical cut, but the setup was. Unlike Two Towers, where the payoff was in, but not the setup. That's why he doesn't have a staff the rest of the movie. And here comes one of the best scenes in the history of cinema. The Ride of the Rohirrim. Death! I can't be so loud because it's very early in the morning. That violin. It can't be played. It can't be played, but the violin's going off right now. That horse is freaking out, running into the other horse. You'll never unsee it. Ha ha ha. God, I love Mary in this, just screaming death still. Charging to your death, really, but you're gonna fight anyway. It's fucking awesome. God, it's gonna be pumped. Puppet Mary. You'll never unsee that either. Sorry, I'm kind of losing my mind. I've been at this for over 10 hours now, you know, so. Whew. Get your guesses in case y'all forgot. Guess what time I'll finish this. Another train. Add the ticker. I honestly have no idea what the train number's at. My guess is probably 8, 9? I've lost count. You'll probably see other cat trying to get on the desk right here. Do you want to get up? Here we go. There you go. Do you want to say hi to the audience real quick? You're not going to say anything? Are you still afraid? You still camera shy? Okay, you just want to be put down. All right. I'm just trying to get more clicks and subscribers here. Oh, no, you're leaving. All right, fine. Losing my mind. I'm losing my mind. I mean, if you're going to go out, you might as well go out in style, right? Yeah, no fear. It's not the best strategy, of course. You're going to get mulled over, but no fear. Just do whatever you can. Ha, Puppet Mary again. That's just unfair. See, this is war. This is a war zone. You go, Mary. The two people that weren't supposed to be here, that everyone thought would be a hindrance, you're kicking ass.
White shores.
The subtle little rising of Into the West in the background, too.
I will kill you if you touch him.
You killed my dragon thing. Yeah, fuck that shit, man. Fucking giant ass mace. You probably just shattered her arm, even though she blocked it with the shield. It's just, nah. That thing, solid cast iron, probably. Ugh. Instant win button. Whatever. Some people think that diminishes her victory. Mary's help, but nah.
I am no man.
See? She's the only one that could have killed him regardless.
50! 16! 33! 34!
Do those not all count? It's like the ladder thing from Helm's Deep. Do those not count for Legolas? And I've seen some people be like, oh, you didn't need to kill the elephant, but those things are trained to kill. They're stomping around and killing people. So yeah, it probably did really need to get put down.
That still only counts as one!
That's still such a great line. And just like that, the Battle of Pelennor Fields is over.
I shall not now feel ashamed.
How he acted during Helm's Deep really weighed on him then, but He gave it his all for Minas Tirith. Oh, you can see some of the Mumikil running off. They look so weird. I never noticed those before.
Be at peace.
He needs to wake her up. Because he needs to ask her, like, did you just kill the fucking Witch King? It's so fucking cool. Is it too late to change my answer? Will you take me back? You killed the fucking Witch King. Yeah, Faramir, you earned it. You put up a lot of shit and you're very brave. In fact, you've both earned your peace.
The scum tried to knife me! Kill him!
We know there's distension between orcs and Uruk-hai, but do you think there's like racism between the orcs? Like we've seen green orcs, we've seen red ones, blue ones, gray ones. Do you think there's like a hierarchy? I imagine there's probably racism about that amongst orcs. There's 4 orcs on the stairs, and we saw one turn around and run away. And I thought I could hear the clinkling of chains. I guess that was him. He went up the stairs and around. Maybe you can see the mithril vest in the edit.
They took the ring!
And I love the detail in Frodo's neck, how it's wearing the ring, something so heavy, just cuts into your neck like that, corrupts it, or tears apart your neck. And even Sam, who's like pure good, who's optimistic and everything, it's hard for him to give up the ring. And he's only had it for a couple hours, maybe. Goes to show the ring's nothing to fuck with.
We did it, Mr. Frodo. We made it to Mordor.
Frodo has passed beyond my sight.
So can he see Frodo or can he not?
Draw out Sauron's armies, then march on the Black Gate.
Hello? Who's there? Oh, hey, Aragorn!
Behold the sword of Elendil.
Okay, Uno reverse card, bitch. His goal was to, tempt Sauron. He did that, but Sauron ain't no fool. Oh, still got so long to go, and it's in the worst part. Super hot, fucking poisonous air. Ugh. Aragorn passes that hill that Sam got stuck in, and is like, a hobbit was stuck here. And another. Look at his neck, look how red it is. I mean, the ring is super close to being destroyed, so it's probably just like yanking him down.
There'll be none left for the return journey. I don't think there will be a return journey, Mr. Frodo.
I just praised him for his optimism, but now he's at that point. I don't think there's going to be a return journey, but we got to do this. Let's do it. Fucking accepting your death, really.
Let the Lord of the Black Land come forth!
Blue eyes. Blue eyes again. Another thing that definitely should have been left in the final product, honestly. Mouth of Sauron and Saruman's death are the 2 things that needed to be in the theatrical version. I know why it was cut. Because the mouth taunting the Fellowship with the mithril vest doesn't have the same impact as it does in the book. Because we know that Frodo's alive. But in the book, you hadn't gotten to their story yet, I don't think. I still think it's good for the characters themselves.
Elvish play.
Yeah! That's a decapitation in all 3 movies. Someone give these boys some chapstick. That's all I can think about when I watch this scene. Just that, they're just peeling. Just peeling.
I bid you stand! Men of the West!
Yeah! Wait, hang on. Yeah! I just had a paper towel holder from the pizza I ate earlier. It was empty, so now it's a sword. Ah. It's like you're so close but so far. You're crawling. And the ring is out. You can just imagine that ring is just pulling him down. Like, no, get down. Nuh-uh. Come on. Get down here. What color is Legolas's eyes going to be this time? Put your guesses down below. If you guessed blue, then you were right. Oh my god, best scene. Best scene coming up.
I can't carry it for you. But I can carry you.
Come on!
Fuck yes, Sam. God, I love it. I love it so fucking much. Oh, God. Crying. I'm crying. I've cried a lot in the most recent videos. Everything Everywhere, Stranger Things, and now this one too. It's just like, God, it's such a great moment. Such a powerful moment. I can't carry it for you, but I can carry you.
For Frodo.
I mean, it's such a brave call, the for Frodo, because for Frodo works if he's alive or dead. If he's alive, we'll give him that chance. And it works even better if they think Frodo's dead, because the world's doomed anyway. Let's go out swinging. I can multi-layers. I love it. Legolas had to get the first kill right there. He shot an arrow first before Aragorn could reach there. He's like, nah, I get the first kill in this battle. God, there's so much going on. There's so much going on. I'm having the best time. You didn't think it would be that easy, did you?
You swore on the precious!
And he broke his word. He swore on the ring. The ring heard that. The ring's not going to be happy with you. Hey, look, there's a creek right behind Frodo. Why is there some water and snow in Mount Doom, huh? I wonder. You'll never unsee that one either. Yeah.
Eagles! The eagles are coming!
And thus every person on the internet was all like, well, why didn't the eagles just fly them in? Well, if the eagles tried to fly them in with tens of thousands of orcs out there, I'm pretty sure arrow... Also, I mean, I think in lore, it's the eagles are like the Ents. They don't want to get involved in the worlds of like men and elves and orcs and all this stuff. Like, it's not their problem. You know, they're convinced and whatnot in the end, but yeah.
Just let it go!
No, fuck off, Elsa. We're not doing that.
The ring is mine.
God damn. Talk about tripping at the finish line, you know?
No!
I mean, talk about a climax of a movie, am I right? Or am I right? And there you have it. The pity of Bilbo, all those years ago, saves the world. Because if Gollum wasn't there, Frodo wouldn't have destroyed the ring. I don't think anybody can willingly actually destroy the ring. I think that's the point of it. It took an accident. And even in the books, I think Gollum just slips while he's dancing. Such a good story. Such a well-rounded story. It's just... mwah. I wonder if there's a fan edit of this movie that just shows, like, the other members of the Fellowship's journey. Like, it doesn't show Frodo or Sam at all. They just know what the Fellowship knows. So when the ring gets destroyed, it's as shock to the viewer as it is to the Fellowship, you know? It's just like, holy fuck, he did it! He was alive! He destroyed the ring! That'd be interesting. Now look at his neck. It's just like, it looks so chafed, you know? Well, movie's over. Guess I can stand up now and... okay. Aw, shucks. Also, look at that. Gandalf brought 3 eagles. So, one for Frodo, Sam, and maybe Gollum. Maybe he was expecting Gollum to survive too. He brought an eagle for him just in case. If Smeagol survived, would the elves grant him a trip to the Grey Havens like they do for Frodo and Bilbo? This is such like a sappy, like happy-go-lucky ending, you know? Just like everyone's back together, we're all laughing, we're all smiling, everyone's reunited. I don't care, I love it. I'm having such a great time. I'm looking at how long I've been recording. But in this chair, watching these movies back to back, and I might just be going insane. I don't know. Well, I guess the Fellowship's all united. They had their happy, smiley ending. I guess I can get... okay, I guess there's another ending. How long before this joke starts getting old? Shut up, editor.
Now come the days of the king.
And look at the tree. The tree's fully in bloom. Oh, and look at the horizon where Mordor used to be. It's completely blue skies. I actually hope Faramir and Aragorn become like best friends. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he'll go live in Rohan with Eowyn, since she's gonna be like the queen. He just went for it too, open mouth and everything.
My friends, you bow to no one.
I've seen this movie countless times, and it's just getting me emotional. Oh God, I just love this movie. It'll always get me.
We were home.
This feels so weird, honestly. Just watching this all back to back to back is such a strange experience. I didn't take breaks. I didn't get up from this chair. I wheeled my chair away to go to the bathroom and reheat pizza and get food and stuff, but I don't know. I feel like I've been on a large journey with them. Like, I thought I'd have to stop and change out the SD card or change the lights or something, but no, it's just been all the way through. I can't. I'll get to it in the conclusion. Yeah, you face down a giant, big-ass spider, bro. You have nothing to fear with talking to a woman. Hell yeah, Sam. You deserve it. You deserve it.
How do you pick up the threads of an old life? How do you go on?
I will say, as far as like a change of like lifestyle, that's kind of how it feels going from being in the military and just living that life and doing the things you got to do in there to being out. It takes an adjustment period. It felt so weird getting out of the military. Like, I don't know. I just expected any moment, like, well, I got to wake up tomorrow and go back. I mean, of course, I can't relate to what they have been through, and I can't relate to what a lot of other military people have been through. It's all been different experiences for everyone, but it's a very similar feeling of, I don't know how to describe it. And, of course, one final train for the count.
Is there any chance of seeing that old ring of mine again?
I'm afraid I lost it.
Here, take mine. Actually, you better not. It's just, you probably shouldn't.
It is time, Frodo.
Just like the bond of brotherhood that they made can never be broken. You don't see those bonds in movies anymore. I don't like seeing Sam's cry face. It hurts my soul a little bit. There's that little bit of Frodo from the beginning of the first film there. Just a light, warm smile. God, he's so good at like that transition. He was so lighthearted and free-spirited in the first one. Maybe not free-spirited, but you know what I'm trying to say. And then he got more serious and didn't smile as much. And then that looked like Frodo from the first movie, the beginning of the first movie. He's at peace.
I'm back.
God, remember how I started off this reaction talking about those doors? That feels like a lifetime ago. The end. We did it. Oh, free the ears. Check the time. I have the time, so put your guesses in. And let's go ahead and stand up. Okay. Oh. Oh, God. Oh. That felt weird, standing up. I got, my leg wasn't asleep, but I got like pins and needles that shot up when I stood up. That was weird. Wow. That was an adventure for sure. I'd recommend people sit down and watch all three of them as a marathon. I think it's a very unique and interesting way to do it. Maybe not in one sitting. Maybe get up and move your legs around and stuff. Once I got into it, it went by. It went by, and I just had so much fun. These movies are so good. I thought I'd be exhausted and be like, oh, that's it. That's the Like and subscribe. No, I got more into it as the movies went along. I was surprised I cried. Because I cried. Oh, by the way, I still have the ring on. It's a weird feeling, honestly, to watch all three of them like that, as if they were like pretty much as if they were one big movie. Because it's a weird experience. Things that only happened a few hours ago for me feel like they happened a long time ago. Honestly, I know some people are probably wondering if anyone's even made it to this point in the video. What would be my pick? Like, how would I rank the Lord of the Rings trilogy? First of all, I love these movies. They're 10 out of 10s in my book. All of them, 10 out of 10s. From favorite to least favorite, I guess, would be 3, 1, 2. I know a lot of people prefer Towers over Fellowship, but I just love the beginning and ending of a story. Best film trilogy ever made by a country mile. Sorry. Fight me, Star Wars fans. I love Star Wars too, but it doesn't stack up to Lord of the Rings. What do you guys think? Should I do another one? What other series would you like me to do an in one sitting for? Let me know down in the comments. And, of course, go ahead and give this video a like, just for the editor's sanity, I suppose. And a subscribe, just for both of us, the editor and I. Try this at home sometime. Let me know how it goes for you. That's it. We're done. Oh. Ugh. My precious. I can't do it anymore. That sucks. I'm losing my mind.